Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Our most recent video, we were on Enchantment of the Seas out of Tampa Port. And today we thought we'd give you a tour of the ship, and we'll be working from the top decks down through the ship.
I'm Marshall.
I'm Crystal.
And we're here, like you said, from top to bottom to go through Enchantment of the Seas. And we're going to start on deck 11 that has some special places.
This is the Viking Crown Lounge. And right now it's empty for some reason. It was the middle of the afternoon when we were filming. But this is a great spot to go and get great views and just chill out a little bit. It was fairly quiet most of the time, actually.
Yes, even in the night, unless it's like late night on Royal Caribbean ships, it's a pretty mellow vibe there, and we really enjoyed it, even just to sit down, relax, all through the day.
Now up behind the Crown Lounge, you come to there's the Suite Lounge, and then across the hall from that is what do they call that?
The Crown Lounge.
Oh, the Crown Lounge. Did I say the wrong thing?
No, it's a Viking Lounge.
The Viking Lounge, and then the Crown Lounge, and the Suite Lounge. It's the lounge floor.
Absolutely. We're first going into the Crown Lounge, which used to be known as the Diamond Lounge, which is why it's a little confusing. And again, it was early, mid-afternoon. Everybody's out on the decks, and they just had some cookies for folks who wanted to go up and relax there, but I was the only one there.
And that lounge is for people who on Royal Caribbean's loyalty club are Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle. And then across the hall is the Concierge Club, which is for people who have rented or booked suites on this cruise.
And this is our first time being a full suite, so we could actually swipe the door and show you what the lounge looked like, which is kind of a copy of the Crown Lounge. Pretty much, but it's less, okay, so no one's there either, but when it got crowded, It's a little bit less crowded than the Crown Lounge. It's a smaller set of people who can get in there.
And it's quieter, it's more closed off, whereas the Crown Lounge was open to the Viking Lounge, so if the Viking lounge bar was noisy, then that would also be noisy.
Yeah. As we look at the beginning of deck 10, I will just say that deck 11 on Enchantment is really a half a deck or less. It's a very small area. This is the first full deck, and up in the very front you have the kids area, and that's what you're seeing in terms of the nursery, the Adventure Ocean, their own separate area.
Mm-hmm. It was not a huge arcade, just to point that out in case you have a family or kids that would be interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller ship, one of the smaller ships in the fleet, but still just very nicely appointed, and you'll see this through the whole video. I thought the ship was in very good shape.
Yeah, I agree.
As we go to the front of the ship, you'll see that there's plenty of room for people. It was, for me, amazing to see a pool deck, and that this is the sun deck, the one deck above the pool deck, to be really empty.
Yeah, there were plenty of chairs for people most of the time, actually. Yeah.
Now, as we go upon this bridge or this little walkway to the other side, kind of reminds me that what's special about Enchantment in the Vision class for Royal Caribbean is they added an 84-foot section back in 2005. So I always feel like, I may be wrong, but that bridge is like what they put in there when they cut the ship in and put in the other decks.
I love the back of the ship. I love looking down here. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Oh, and looking up, That's a serious rock wall.
It is. I have done a rock wall before. I didn't do that one. It would have been interesting because you're so close to the edge.
Yeah.
Sometimes these rock walls are further in the middle of the sports area.
Yeah, it might look like you're gonna fall.
I kind of wasn't really into it.
Adventure seekers might.
That's true. Well, we're finishing up on the sun deck. Very quiet area. We spent, I think, a couple of afternoons or days just reading, sunning, and just enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, and the part we liked about this area is you could be in the sun or the shade, which is one of the things we liked about it. Plus, it was fairly quiet. You could hear a little noise from the pool below, but not bad.
Yeah. Now we'll speed walk through the rest of it until we get to that bridge area
On the other side.
and then we'll look over and just take a look at the pool deck, which we're heading to next. See, lots of room.
Yeah,
Really.
I agree. Yeah.
And finally, a few more people enjoying themselves on that pool deck. Okay, to the pool deck we go.
First is the Windjammer. So the Windjammer is oriented differently on this ship than some of the others we've been on.
Right, meaning that we're actually going to the front of the ship that has the Windjammer. If you watched our last tour, I was complaining about not having the windows in the bow.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the windows in the front, but we got to get to a ship again that has all the Fey window seating in the back. I will give credit. There's a lot of window space. Even if it's a smaller Windjammer, there was plenty of window space for people to enjoy the outside view.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't ever really a bad view.
Now, we ate there maybe once or twice, but it was in a place we had a lot of different options. So the food seemed fine, and it seemed very typical buffet food. There was nothing special to highlight, except if you like the Windjammer buffet, you'd like this one. The food was very similar.
They have different themes for different nights too. So, we might have had some different choices if we had gone
Right.
on different nights. So this is the sprinkles where they have is it frozen yogurt or ice cream?
Yes.
Okay. You don't know.
No.
They have chocolate, vanilla, or twist.
I like where it was because there was, as you saw, a lot of seating because they allowed you to bring the Windjammer buffet food out there. So if you wanted to, you could sit there with your ice cream or frozen yogurt or go anywhere else with it.
Yeah.
Now we're on the pool deck. And this, again, I think I spent more time with you on the pool deck than I have in most recent cruises because I think we just like to be a little bit away from the
noise,
the
crowds. Yeah.
But this was different, and we took some shots at night, again, just to give the flavor of the pool deck. I think this was a little rainy, but they typically have their movies and some parties or some DJs out there.
Football games.
Yeah, that's right. A very classic style, older ship with the Centrum being the center of activity.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that though, because if there was music below, you could sort of hear it on each deck as you go down or out. She's a pretty older ship.
So we're heading to the back. And again, because the ship is a little bit different, you go backwards to the adults only area, the solarium.
Yeah, so the solarium has its own pool and its own hot tubs in addition to the regular pool deck. And there was a surprise back here that I wasn't expecting.
So as you can see, this is where the spa was, which was unique.
Very unique. Yeah, I've never seen a spa in this location.
Like walking, the only way to get through it is through the solarium.
Yeah. And they had a great view. That was a nice bank of windows.
Right. This is the area where you sit, fill out your forms, your survey, and relax. And as you said, it was, I think, one of the nicer areas.
Okay.
And very typically, we're going to walk to the right side as we head back. It's where the hair and all that stuff. And then the other side is the massage rooms and some of them private rooms.
And all of the staff was super nice, very friendly and helpful. So this is the gym. You go up the stairs from the spa, which is pretty typical for a lot of royal ships.
Thought it was well done. Again, the ship is 25, a little, I think 27 years old. And it's not the biggest gym workout area, but well done, well appointed. And again, it doesn't have as many people. You don't need as many machines so it wasn't crowded.
This is the surprise that, I was surprised to see, what? The park cafe is in the back of the solarium? So yeah, that was kind of fun. You could, they would make you a salad or give you a sandwich or fruit.
Or
pizza.
Or pizza.
I didn't have the pizza.
I was hungry.
So yeah, that was a surprise. And they had a lot of seating and again, all the outside views. So yeah, I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, we've talked about ships with more inside views, outside views, and a vision class, at the time, they had the most windows of most any ship that had been built at the time. So it still is extremely nice.
Yeah.
So as you move forward, there's always a smoking section that we just went through on the main pool deck. But then after that, there was this really cool midship pool deck bar that on here is called the Island Bar. It's really large and it's right by the pools. It's friendly staff. And, there's games around. There were games all over the place. In this ship, people were playing all these different games. And there are two pools, main pools on the pool deck. And since we spent so much time there, I was able to take in the belly flop contest. So here's 2 bonus flops for everyone. The typical pool bar, which is usually in the front of the pool deck, is there. But that Island Bar was unique.
Yeah, being on the side like that instead of on one of the ends.
Yeah. All right, we're going to head down to the first main public deck.
So decks 8 and 7 were all cabins. This theater, I really like this theater. It had like a really small, intimate feel.
With, it wasn't a super large cast, but boy, are they talented.
Very, and very high energy. And yeah, the shows were very, very good.
So to keep a record, that's the balcony of the theater. And now we're heading further back on deck 6.
And the shops, instead of being like in the center of the ship, it was sort of like a double-sided shops. I don't know how else to describe it, but I probably spent more time in the shops than I have on other ships because it felt like an actual destination.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of destination, you weren't getting mixed up with restaurants and shops. Like a lot of cruise ships will have them intertwined. So the vibe here was everybody was just browsing, and it really was a shopping destination, as you said.
And they had some really good sales on fragrances too, so people were excited about that. And here's where you could go to view your pictures if you wanted to view those, purchase them.
A little library game area. You won in checkers, I have to mention that.
Distracting. And also right there is the my specialty coffee place. There's another shot of overlooking that. Is it the Centrum?
Centrum.
Well,
At this point in time, if you can't tell looking at this or your screen's too small, they were having competition against the staff who make the beds, the attendants versus the public trying to change over the beds at the speed they can do. It was kind of fun. Now we're going further back, past the Centrum, going to the back of the ship, and we hit the Schooner Bar. Again, check out the views.
very nice. Some people spent a lot of time here in the evenings, from what I was told by other passengers, and they said it was a great time. They spent some time there, and the piano playing was excellent. The environment was nice.
Walking through there, in case you want to switch up the environment, you hit the very large, I think it's Starlight Lounge, where it's a multi-purpose lounge. They'll have acts, they'll have singing, here's an art show in the midday. But I went past the art just so folks could see, again, the view facing outward from this lounge.
So much, like overlooking the ocean. So it's kind of nice not to forget that you're on a cruise ship.
I mean, I know we love like Oasis class and other large class ships, but you may not see the ocean, for hours.
Yeah, true.
There's so much going on inside. I don't want to use the word dead end, but it is, you have to turn around to go back through there. You can't loop around like a lot of other decks. Mm-hmm. But once you get to the stairs and the elevator, on the other side is Chop's Grill.
And again, the beautiful views.
Yeah, we will note we've spent more time at Chop's Grill than we have in any other cruise, because as suite guests on Enchantment of the Seas, breakfast is just for the suite guests in Chop's Grill. Mm-hmm. So a slightly different menu, but the usual, breakfast dining room things, mm-hmm. but done right there with a very attentive staff. It was really nice.
I agree. Chop's Grill is typically for dinner a steakhouse.
We're back at the Centrum, and I think we get just a view of, on this floor, this deck, where you have next cruise.
And the office to book your next cruise.
Which we haven't done in.
No, we didn't use that desk this time. So this is the main floor of the theater. So yeah, check this out. Normally there's stairs, no stairs in this. So for some folks with mobility issues, there were no issues in this theater. It was very, very nice, very comfortable seating. There's Danny.
Yes, we did the backstage tour, and he was one of the people that we got to speak to, and we spoke to him afterwards.
Yeah.
Very nice gentleman.
I think he was the director of sound.
He was.
Yeah. And now he's going to Utopia of the Seas, so we might see him there.
Yeah, we chatted because we are, as you know, we were last on Utopia. So Deck 5 also has the casino. We can report that there is not a separate non-smoking area, but for every time we went through there or spent our free credits, $6 that they give you for our level, it wasn't bad.
No, I wasn't overcome. So they've perfected their HVAC. I'm pretty sensitive to cigarette smoke, so yeah, and I didn't think it was too bad. Plenty of machines, that's for sure. I don't know very well how to work them.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them old-fashioned machines, but they had old style. If you wanted to, you could actually pull the one-arm bandit.
Of course I did.
Okay, so now right after that, going further back, you hit a Boleros, which is the Latin music, Latin dancing. And I love the ship when there's venues that are from one side to the other. Just
Full width.
Yeah, it's really nice. So on the Centrum on Deck 5, we may see it a little bit later, but you also have your guest services and some of the other locations that you may go to when you need something or assistance on the ship.
Main dining room.
Hope this video does it justice that this ship is a classic. Well, I don't know, it's got a lot of wood, a lot of leather, a lot of brass. It's just very regally appointed.
Regal, that's a good word.
I mean, our most recent ships had this modern feel, which has been terrific too, but this is really a throwback to a different era.
Yeah, it felt plush, though.
Regal and plush.
Yes, regal and plush.
And the true promenade deck where you can walk almost completely around. You can't do the front nose of this ship,
Right.
but you have a lengthy, free, open air walk, around 80% of that deck. And there's that view out the back that we both like.
I always have to stop and hang over there, look over the railing, hang out for a few minutes. It's just something so mesmerizing and relaxing about that.
That glass right up there is the Starlight Lounge from one deck below looking up. It's where you see all that wonderful view from that lounge. Deck 4 is a half deck of rooms, so I thought it'd be a good chance for us to show you what a hallway looks like in terms of the decor. Pretty standard.
Pretty standard.
Then when you get midship, it turns into the last bit of public space.
This is the base level of the Centrum that you're looking down on from the upper decks.
And the Centrum Bar, which we didn't go to this time.
Oh yeah, we usually do.
These type of shifts will have all sorts of events happening all the time, from karaoke in the Centrum to dance classes to you name it.
Yeah. I liked those one that name the lyrics where they did a song and then they would stop it and the person had to say what the next words were. That was a fun contest.
And something like that, you have 4 decks of people hanging out on the railing looking down.
Yeah. More main dining room. So this dining room was deck 5 and 4.
We're finishing up the smaller deck 4, but you can see plenty of seating, nice vibe, and you're right there catching the action of any of the shows or events we were talking about at eye level. They're still doing making the rooms up.
If you can't tell, we love to cruise. And we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel where you can catch all of these ship tours and room tours and join us on our shore excursions. We like to film those too. So yeah, come join our channel.
Yes, definitely. So take care.